been both a support system and consultant for the inception of data-driven design. And for the last decade, Kate has been using her creativity in the classroom as a high school Spanish and contemporary issues teacher. She's also put up with my husband for the last few years at Summit, so you're safe. And with a dual degree from Michigan State University in journalism and Spanish, her forte is writing relevant content for media outlets and websites. She has a passion for creative and effective social media marketing, and keeping up with the newest digital and social media consumer trends is what Kate looks to drive web traffic for her customers through data analysis. She also has web development experience and enjoys the process of website conception and design. And then there's Paul. Paul has created and grown businesses via digital strategy and internet marketing for more than 10 years. His background includes more than 15 years of work in public relations, community relations, event management, fundraising, and as a nationally published writer. So he has since leveraged his own experience building digital businesses into serving clients in a broad range of industries for the last 9 years. And he started Data-Driven Design in 2016 with the sole intent to bring his customers results driven by data and not theories or just opinions. He works to ensure that every customer gets their business and marketing goals met or exceeded by using the most effective marketing tools. So without further ado, come on up.
Thank you, Rebecca. Appreciate that. We're really excited to be here. Wow, that felt like an amazing introduction, and really I'm just thankful and grateful for the opportunity to be in business and speak with you all today. I think just a little bit about myself and Kate, in addition to what Rebecca said. We
are not brother and sister.
We are not?
No, we're married. We have two kids in Allendale. We do a lot of business in Nashville, but we were really excited to get out to the Spring Hill community because this is our community. And so we took a really deep dive into some Spring Hill businesses, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But back to what we do, we'll show you here.
Yeah, so long story short, we do a lot of different stuff, but the main point is that every business at some level needs a digital presence and a website. And once you have a website and a digital presence, you want to get the word out about that because you've made time investment or a monetary investment in that. And so what we do is help drive traffic to companies' websites. We're a 6-person team located in both Spring Hill and Nashville. And we specialize in, we also help create content for websites and design and develop websites. And try to make it just really easy for businesses to get a lot of value in that. I think sometimes there's a lot of pain points for anyone who doesn't really have the time or knowledge or background in actually developing your own digital presence. We work with basically everyone. And that's why I'm really pumped to be here today because we empathize with like one-person marketing teams, small business owners, where you have a business to run. You don't necessarily have time to worry about anything other than just basically doing your to-do list for the day and trying to get people to support you. So just a little bit about who we work with in terms of small to mid-sized businesses, startups, enterprise-level agencies, mainly or enterprise-level companies, mainly as support to larger agencies. So today, we're going to talk about 3 main focus areas. One is going to be how you can find your audience and capture their attention for a very low cost per entry, because we want to be really conscious about spending your time and your budget wisely to grow your business. We're going to talk a little bit about some local search engine optimization. So a lot of you probably are familiar with searching on your mobile device or on your desktop device to find the nearest dentist or restaurant or walk-in clinic or any kind of local business. And you're maybe a little bit confused around like why different search results populate on Google or whatever search engine you're using. And there's maps, and there's Google My Business, and there's all these other local directory listings that you might find inaccurate information about your business on. And so we kind of want to give you some tips to help you clean that up. And then we're big into data. So we kind of say data over opinions a lot, because everyone's opinion is valuable, but because everyone has an opinion, it gets really hard to make business decisions. And so we can use a lot of data that's readily available and free to everyone to help you just basically go faster and make business decisions, and then see if it's working or not, and then go from there. We do have a special offer for, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We're going to try to be cognizant of your time and provide the most value we possibly can. But we also love to coach and teach everyone, and we'd be happy to help anyone out in this room. One way that we can do that is we have an academy coming up where we're only going to have a really low number of spots available because we want to make it really intimate for everyone to learn more about what we're talking about today. And so there's a special promo code, Spring Hill. There's information on your table and everything like that. And if you want to talk to us after, we'll be available. But the Data Driven Academy, you can learn even more about what we're talking about today. And the point is so that you don't have to have a large budget for your business. So if you're part of a small marketing team or you're a small business owner, you don't have to have a large ongoing digital marketing budget. Come learn it yourself, and it'll be stuff that you can do as part of your daily routine while you're running your business to drive traffic to your store or your digital presence, your website. I'm super excited about this. We had this idea with the chamber, the great people from the Spring Hill Chamber, Abby and Rebecca, and Kate and I talked about, okay, there's a lot of stuff that we can talk about. How do we provide the most value? How do we do something really valuable and unique and potentially cool? So we wanted to try to make an impact. We let all chamber members have the opportunity to work with us pro bono, and we were able to pick 3 awesome organizations that we felt like we could team up with, and that they would put in as much work as we would put in with them, and we could really be a team together and try to drive some engagement around their Facebook page, their website, maybe help them with blogging, basically helping them tell their story. And so Kate and I are going to walk you through our experience with those 3 businesses. We're really excited about that. And then we hope that we'll be throwing in some useful tips and resources along the way. So thank you to Annette and Misty and Kelly who are here from these 3 awesome organizations. Like I said, when we work with any of our clients, the best results come from when we're a team. We're basically just an extension of our client's team. So we come in, we try to learn everything there is to know about who we're working with, and then figure out, because everyone's in a completely different scenario, we try to figure out how can we help, how can we provide the most value. And so it was really fun. Kate did most of the work on this, and so thank you to everyone. You guys were all in a unique situation, so we're going to kind of walk you through that. What does it mean to find and capture your audience's attention? I think a lot of times we question whether or not we should be on Facebook, right? Because there's so many other seemingly more important things to do. It's important to look at the data and understand just how many people are on Facebook, and they're all B2B as much as they are B2C, because Facebook knows where you work, they know your job title, they know where you are, they know your interests. And so it's also hard to compete and make an impact on traditional media like TV, radio, print, and billboard. It's important to do all of those things to a certain extent, and it's important to obviously support your local community and get out into the community. But we all have limited budgets, we all have limited time, and so I just want to talk a little bit about, and this whole presentation will get into more detail, but when you look at what I call the cost per customer attention, Facebook is about 2,000 times more efficient than TV and 1,000 times more efficient than radio, just at getting to your exact target audience at a very, very low cost. So we'll talk about boosted posts, a little bit about advertising to those audiences, and we'll mainly talk about creating content for those audiences, because that you kind of have to have that as the groundwork before you can spend the money. It doesn't make sense, we were talking to Kelly earlier, it doesn't make as much sense to boost a post that's not already engaging to your audience, for example.
And none of these platforms here are going to allow you to narrowly tailor to a niche market, the way that Facebook does. I mean, in Facebook, you can speak to just people that are interested in Spring Hill, coffee lovers, that go to yoga on a Thursday night. You can populate for all of the, underwater basket weaving, I had to try it, it's there. I don't know, it was just for fun. That's how narrow that you can get down into the categories, and you can just market and just boost your post to those specific people. Where before, with any other media, we were just casting a wide net and just hoping to get anyone. Now we can just speak to a soccer mom specifically and have that ad just go straight to her.
What about zip codes?
What's that?
What about zip codes?
Zip
Zip
codes,
codes,
yeah,
yes, there's a
geolocation.
demographic, a
I'm
geolocation.
a naturally based business, and this is my home.
Mhm.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
There's a
geolocation.
geolocation, so you can set it to be 10-mile radius of Spring Hill. When we worked with the reserve, we set it at a 25-mile radius within Spring Hill. So yes, you can go right into Thompson Station if that's the only town that you want to target because something happened there for you, or you want to advertise there. That's exactly what you can type in and just be talking to those folks. Great question.
And it's kind of fun actually going in and seeing like all the different categories like Kate was talking about, because you can target any kind of demographic group, any interest group, any behavioral targeting. It's just kind of fun to see how many people in your area are interested in a certain thing, and then target them for your business. So, we're talking like $20, $30, $100 type of budget. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. So it's not like spending thousands of dollars on a TV spot and then kind of wondering what kind of an impact it's going to have. You get all that data.
You get the numbers right there. It's going to say, males that are firemen. Hello, how are you? I taught your son. How's he? This is an infographic, or excuse me, not an infographic, just an image on the right, and this was the picture before. And we kind of talked about, hey, let's make this really graphically interesting that somebody would want to engage, that they would want to click and read more about this. And taking that extra step, that extra level with your photos, or going and grabbing a stock image elsewhere is sometimes the difference between a like and a scroll right through you. So that is a great example of kind of upping your game a little bit. And Canva, one more time, Canva is awesome. It is so easy to use, and it's free. So it's a fantastic resource. Next, we talked about differentiating. Everything can't just be small thumbnail pictures, text. Thumbnail pictures and text. How can we change that and make it look different? Infographics are also easily made. In Canva, you can drag and drop, and this is just a way to read your information with images instead of words. It's also a little quicker. We like learning, instead of reading that whole article, those were kind of the highlights of that article and those three things that were going on at that what was it? Oh, the recycling efforts. So it's really text and number heavy. And that was a way to pull that out. So, interactions, and I think Wild Room, you've already got it down, because she is up here saying, hey, tag us and give our flowers away. That is exactly where you want to be. So, I love your work, it's beautiful. And I didn't win, so I'll see you later. So, with that being said, I think it's important to ask your readers what you want. Explicitly say, hey, what do you like? What do you think about this? Are you upset that this cyclist was hit? I don't think it's too soon for this now. I think we're over it, right? We've moved on. But are we supportive of cyclists here in Spring Hill? Buckner Road? But when you ask that, every time you do that, now somebody's engaging with you. And what does that mean? That means you're going to go higher and higher in that Facebook feed, and the probability of you showing up is a lot higher now. So you want people to like and touch and actually engage with your posts, and questions are the best way to do that. Another just sort of infographic that we've got here, and it says, tag the finest and fastest runners and support the children's home. So now we're tagging the children's home, we're tagging different runners, we're asking you to engage with us instead of just throwing information at you. Videos. I know that we're all really like, Facebook Live, isn't that scary? We all can't be Flo, okay? Flo's game is so strong. That is for sure. Flo versus Flo. Yeah, well, we all can't be Flo and take everybody to lunch and just be cute and bubbly That's a lot of energy. So instead, set up Facebook Live, anything. I know it's a little bit intense, and it may feel like pressuresome, but actually it's a fantastic way to get out there, and you have more to say than you think you do. You can talk, are you doing it right now?
I'm Facebook Live here right now. You gotta practice what you preach, right? You know?
I love Flo. She's pretty cute.
All right.
Flo, are you really gonna take me to lunch? Like, I've never heard that's the sweetest thing.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So, did you get that? That's on camera. Get
I got
it.
Flo.
Zoom in on Flo. But with Facebook Live, I think it's a little bit intense, just because you're thinking, I'm on live video. Well, you are, but people like to see you. You are your best sales, and we'll talk about this a little bit later when we talk about Rhino Rentals, is that you and your family and whatever you do at your organization, that is special to others. And you'd be surprised the offerings that you have. Even just this, this giveaway that she started today. That's something that she could continue on. Maybe she's going to make special deliveries, and she could Facebook Live the delivery of the flowers. That's
Wild Root in Spring Hill.
See, what's happening? Can you stop though, for real? Okay. So again, if you want to talk to people while they consume their entertainment, you need to feed their entertainment. And maybe instead of putting the pressure on yourself, say, okay, every Monday, I'm going to do tips of why it's really important to be a Spring Hill Chamber member. Okay? Or you're going to offer something up to your audience, and just do it maybe once a month and just see how it goes. But I think you'll be surprised at the results, because this is what happens with the homepage. And we'll talk about that in a second. Hashtags on Facebook, they used to be it was an Instagram thing and Twitter. Now they're moving over into Facebook. So you're going to start to see people hashtagging. Great, right? Yay! It's the stuff that you didn't say, but you still want to say, and so you put a hashtag in front of it, now you can say it. Yay! Don't do that. Don't do that. Because hashtags are for searching purposes. They are for searching purposes, and they're also a way for you to brand yourself if that's an avenue that you want to go. The other way is for you just internally to be able to search your own content and maybe look back through some of your old posts. But please don't put hashtags in the middle of things. Please don't do this. It's annoying. It's hard to read. Put hashtags at the end, and be thinking of the user in the search. What is a user going to search? So for Kelly, it's Spring Hill News. Accident in Spring Hill. These are things that are going to work for her. Not like, can you believe this guy? I mean, no one's searching, can you believe this guy? Well, that actually would, anyway. But you see my point.
There's also a really practical use for hashtags. So again, you're trying to use your time wisely, and if you use it to organize your content, like Kate mentioned this, you can use the same hashtag in a strategy to then go back and find the same things later and help your users do the same. So if you have 4 different things that you're going to talk about consistently, and you use the different hashtags to go with each content category, it's very easy to then send a link later to your audience with all the hashtags from the same area. So using Facebook as kind of a content management platform for your business, if your website doesn't already do it for you, is really valuable.
So in short, Facebook cares about the user experience and not the marketers. So you're going to have to play like a user, and just keep that in mind. And again, you're on Facebook to add value, not to constantly sell. You're there to add value, or people are not going to like any of your stuff, and you're going to fall out of their feed. So how are you adding value to them? And we're going to talk a little bit more about that.
Let's talk about the great teamwork.
Go back one more time, sorry.
Okay, got it.
So, how are you providing value? Are you entertaining? Are you educational? Are you interesting to your reader? Be thinking about some of those things, and the best and the most engaged with posts, as you'll see in all of Spring Hill as we did sort of our research, is are you personal? We care about that here. In this community, we care about the personal touch. And so that's why your Wild Root idea is fantastic, because you've got yourself, but you're adding on and adding that extra layer of personality and attention to detail and care. So,
yeah, and you can see we're pretty kind of carefree and just I think that personal touch what we're trying to convey today is that like that's how you should be on Facebook. I mean, it's really hard, I think, when we say be entertaining, be educational, be personal, but what we mean is just be yourself, because you're already interesting. The stuff that's happening in your business is interesting. It's not interesting to you. You don't think it's unique, but your user does. And so if you could just document what you're doing, and we'll show you some more examples. Rhino Rentals has some really good examples with stuff that happened in a net store. Documenting what you're doing really works. And so again, so back to, that definitely happened teamwork-wise with Kate and Kelly and her team. And so some of the results were just amazing. I'll just hit on the fact that I'm big into the data. So, Kelly was already getting a lot of really good engagement. So, I mean, her advertisers are getting some great value out of that. But then when she went to the Facebook Live series called What's Up With That, which is, again, just kind of like, let's just have some fun and be ourselves with some Facebook Live videos, totally took off. Upwards of 6,000 views on some of them, no less than 1,500 views on others, and so average views like basically 2,300, which is pretty cool. So great job on just kind of working with Kate, teaming up all together to come up with different types of posts and driving some really good results. Anything else before we head into Rhino? So we'll talk about the great teamwork with Annette and her team. Really hustling, trying to make it work, got a great thing going on, trying to drive up as much momentum as she can with her team. And so in the midst of doing that, like really not able to post very frequently, and that's totally understandable. I think this is commonplace. It's gotta be like brushing your teeth, getting ready in the morning, your nighttime routine, whatever it is, like making this type of content strategy part of your routine is really critical, and then it starts to work. And I think all we did with everyone, all Kate did with everyone, was just kind of help them get through that and talk it out. Just talk it out together and come up with ideas. And so we want to get into, obviously, what you guys were up to here.
Yeah, so with Annette, she's been in business since April, and she is a tool rental company. And so you have to go visit them. They're fantastic. And she's a DIY queen. We just talked about, I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? How can I help you? What do you need? And she's like, well, gosh, I have so much to do running a business, and now I have to market it. It just seems a little bit daunting. And I completely understand that. It's hard for us sometimes to take our own advice. Until you do, you kind of add it into your routine of how you're going to do this and how to make it a priority. The other thing about Facebook that's really nice when you have a page is that you can schedule your posts. So Annette and I teamed up, and I said, okay, I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're going to do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and I just did all my posts on Sunday night, and she did like some of hers and scheduled them ahead of time, and we just sat back for the week, and we were finished. So if you can dedicate an hour maybe on a Sunday night or whatever as a convenient time for you, maybe a slower time, and then have those scheduled, they'll just go ahead and run themselves for you, and you don't have to be thinking about that constantly every single day. So the stuff that did the best for us was, first of all, is we increased the frequency by a lot, right? So we wanted to have a post every day at minimum. The special number is 3 posts per day, because Facebook only will send it to 30% of your users. So you're thinking, what? I know. Taping things. It was really fun. So we started with some of those entertaining videos, okay? So we added a lot of value, and the Rhino Rentals name was there. And then whenever we had an ask, or whenever we had a sale, we already had our audience built up. So we were just adding value, we were laughing with people, and this one did really well because it was personal. It was a picture of her and her daughter. And if you go back, I think the words say, like every family business starts out, or no, every small business is to do with family. I've
Close
listed
enough.
that twice.
Close enough.
Behind the success of every small business, there is a family. And if you see here, it was one of the best reach that she had for any post because it was personal and it was kind of special, that special moment. And we got a little boy power washing. We had funny power washing videos. Now you might say to yourself, why am I going to post a video of a kid power washing? Well, because whenever you want to sell a power washer in 2 weeks or rent one out, now you've got your audience. And they haven't been inundated with your sale. Okay, so we're really speaking to the users on the platform.
Yeah, the skepticism is always there. Like, why are we making a post that's not directly about our business or something that's going to sell our product? And so that's why we hit on that algorithm and that 30% rule, because your audience will go away. All those, hundreds or thousands of fans or followers that you get, they're not going to see your content unless you do provide some of this type of entertaining and personal content. And then to Kate's point, when you come in with the rear hook, to the knockout punch of what when you need their help, basically you need them to buy something from you, you've got their attention. So
these are just more entertaining ideas. I can please try to use Canva instead of grabbing pictures off of Pinterest or grabbing them off of somewhere else, because by the time that they make it, sometimes they've been passed through different things and they look really, really grainy. Go ahead and spend some time, make it nice, make it fresh, put your logo on it, and then you'll get a lot better, like visually it will be a lot more appealing. And that's what I did on the right-hand side. $1 billion idea, a smoke detector that shuts off when yelling, "I'm just cooking." And so, sorry firemen, that's probably not against code or something wrong. Look away, that's okay.
So sorry, real quick, Canva can turn anyone into a really good designer. So also all these resources are in your packet on your table. And there's another one called Pexels, Pexels, and you'll see awesome royalty-free photography there. So when you're thinking like, how in the world am I going to go get a photo of this thing that I want to talk about in my post? Just go to Pexels and search kind of what it is that you're looking for, and chances are you'll find something in that realm that you can go ahead and use.
It's from Sweden, so don't use any of the writing. That's a no-no. But it's my favorite price. It's free $99. Go check out Canva, Pexels. Those are your two. That's all you need. And after this presentation, I'm going to be out there liking all of you.
You're welcome.
Long-form blogging. The reason why we like long-form blogging, it seemed that that's a next post. It was really sweet. She's talking about a family member who is in the service. The husband is in the service, and the wife, keeps the home front running. And what does it have to do with renting equipment? Nothing. It has to do with community. And Annette and Rhino Rentals stand for community. And so that's what that post is about. And it's personal to her, but it's beautiful to read. And that's just kind of what they stand for. So long-form blogging is great. This is what you're going to see on the right-hand side. But when you hit click read more, that's that long scroll. Why? Because we don't like to click and be brought out into the spin wheel of death, right? The little pinwheel that's going around. We're impatient, we don't have time for it. And so when something else opens up, we usually end up being like, abort, and you just click out of it. So if you do a long-form blog post, you can keep everything within the platform and people don't have to leave and to maybe visit a different site.
That's right, and so all the data is showing that the trending is going 50 to 60 to 70 to even 80% mobile, so your website users are all on their mobile phones now. I know that sounds like very anecdotal, but looking at the Google Analytics, it really is true. And so to Kate's point, using Facebook as like a content management system, almost an extension of your website, picture yourself on your phone. You're not going to click a link to go read an article, but if the whole article's right there, you tap that read more, the page is already loaded, all it has to do is expand right away. Now you can see this. So that's why it seems silly, like why would I put 1,000 words in a Facebook post? But the reason why is because your audience is already there, you're meeting them where they are, and they don't have to do anything else other than just see it. So it really drives a lot of extra engagement.
So again, entertaining videos. This was a good example. This was, Annette, is this your sister-in-law? Sister. And she's just carting this cutie around Rhino Rentals and the property, and just kind of, this little girl on the little hand trucks is really cute. And you kind of think to yourself, does anybody care about this, guys? Yes. Your cute kids and your cute dogs, and now it's now merged into business, and those two worlds are now one at this point. And if you go through your Facebook feed, you know that. So don't be shy. And again, if you want to talk to people while they're consuming their entertainment, you need to be their entertainment. Not with a lot of pressure to do that, just kind of in being who you are and sharing some of your own stories.
Yeah, this was like my favorite thing in that because it's a perfect example of like, you may or may not have been stuck on your content strategy, like what am I going to post about today? You may not have been that way, but you just took a really nice video of your sister and her cute daughter around the store, and that's all you have to do sometimes, you know, to get that third or fourth or fifth piece of content in for the day. So really great results. The post frequency, I have a tendency to be long-winded, so I've coined this term post frequency, where it just basically means we posted 3 times more than beforehand. And so it really drove, basically, like, I don't know if you can see this engagement down here, but 200% more page likes, 107% more people reached, and 195% post engagements. We see this all the time. So it's just posting more often. And then, of course, using some of the formula we've talked about with the types of posts. Personal problem solving, in this case with the DIY, and entertaining with a lot of the just kind of really nice, cute content.
Finally is the Reserve at Spring Hill. We worked with Misty. She's already got a really strong digital game, so she had very little wiggle room to help her out. She was definitely doing kind of the same thing. That some of those posts were looking a little bit the same, so we wanted to add some differentiation as well. And we wanted to involve the community. So she came up with this brilliant idea, and you probably saw it on social media, is to have cute little kids, be models for their upcoming campaign. And at the Reserve at Spring Hill, you don't have to share the room with anyone else. It's all private rooms in that facility. So she wanted kids doing that cute little face like, what? I don't want to share. And so everybody was tagging their niece's cousin's friend who's cute, who makes that kid face that we all know. And so people were really engaging with that. So it was a brilliant contest. And she got some really great traction. And now she's going to use some cute little Spring Hill kids to be putting in the marketing, so it's a win-win-win all the way across the board.
Yeah, I just want to add that like contests sometimes seem annoying as the marketing person, like because it's something more creative that you have to come up with, and there's all these different like points that you have to connect for the contest to work. But the time and effort that Misty put into the contest and the creative that went into the posting, like 5,000 plus people reached versus like 500 on a normal one of her posts. Which they're all outstanding numbers, but the 5,000 number really stood out to me on that. Here's a few more examples. We've kind of hit this point quite a bit today, but just want to give Misty props on her ability to really cling to the entertaining, engaging, and personal. That really worked well. Boosted posts, we talked a little bit about this earlier. Basically, what we find with whoever we work with is that once you get the organic content strategy down, which is what we've been talking about mostly today, and you start to feel good about that, it really does make sense. It is a pay-to-play platform for businesses on Facebook, and so it really does make sense to put even $1 to $5 behind each of your posts. It gives you the ability to do some of the things we were talking about earlier. So if it's the children's ballet theater, for example, and you want to target moms in Spring Hill who have daughters between the ages of 4 and 10, for example, because you're trying to fill up specific classes, you can do that. And so it doesn't take thousands of dollars. I mean, 30, like some of these in your packet, you can see the data, like $30 behind some posts, 10 behind others. We think that what we see consistently is that if you can even, our clients who have large budgets that are hesitant to put anything into Facebook, we just say start with like $200 a month for the month, and then you start to see results that way. So it's really cost effective. So here's some examples. Kate's going to talk just about some more examples with Misty and her boosted posts, because I think that was a strategy she was already implementing before we started working with her. And we kind of worked together as a team to just help maximize that value on those posts.
Yeah, so like we talked about earlier, demographically we were able to get to target right here in Spring Hill. Then we wanted to target just nurses because she was doing some hiring. So we only boosted people that were interested in nursing, registered nurses. And as you start to type in to this platform, it will actually populate for you. And it will even say, Facebook will say other suggestions, and maybe you'll find, registered people that are interested in being a registered nurse, but that aren't yet, or maybe students of nursing. So you're able to really hone in on finding those folks that you're after. And then you're only making that post and sending it specifically to that audience, which is really cool.
It's a really good point because it's kind of like working out. Like once you get started, you can get better at it. And so once you start typing in your audience into this tool, the Facebook Ads Manager tool, it gives you all these other ideas that Kate was talking about. And so that then spurs on more content ideas. Okay, now I see this audience. Here's another promotional idea that I could put something together for that audience group versus this other one.
Just some more examples of that same like ad campaign. Now it has different. You can boost.
Like 30% of the page has the right information on it. Get people to your business. There's also reviews that I want to talk about. So I'm sure everyone in this room kind of definitely understands reviews and the importance of reviews, but maybe not sure how to get them. And so one way is to be proactive and email your list or text your list to come to a page on a website that then automatically publishes the reviews to all the different sites for you. Super easy, we can help you do that. Very low cost. So if you have an email or phone number list of your customers that have been good to you, we would recommend that strategy maybe once a month, just kind of prompting them for reviews. This is also the way to combat negative reviews. That's the other question we always get, is what do I do about negative reviews? You can call Yelp or Google, and if it's blatantly a bogus review, they will remove it for you, but it takes a while. So the best way is to go on the offense and get the positive reviews from your customer list. And does anyone have any questions? Do we have time? We might not have time for any questions, but if anyone has maybe one or two questions, that'd be awesome. I guess one question.
Okay, I have a question. I know everybody's familiar with Googling, or maybe you want some furniture, and then suddenly the magic dust comes into your Facebook and all these furniture ads start popping up, and you think Big Brother's watching. How do you get that to work, and how much does that typically cost a business?
That's an awesome question. It's called remarketing. So if anyone didn't hear her question, it's basically like, why did I go to a business's website and then now they are stalking me across the whole internet and my mobile phone and they're everywhere. It's called remarketing. It's actually one of the least expensive forms of digital advertising or advertising in general. And it's just a couple simple steps of putting some code in your website and running ad campaigns. And so that's another thing. We do that all the time. We'd love it if you want to email paul@datadriven.design. We'll help you out with that. And thank you so much. We had a blast. And everyone have a great afternoon. And again, if anyone wants any further tips, you know where to find us. Thanks.